I went to look at it a little bit, got frustrated again, turned it off, sick to my stomach.
Giants Cowboys week 2 in Dallas. This should be an exciting matchup. Should be, but the Giants are anything but an exciting football team right now. They're a team that's a bit of a mess. On the offensive side of the ball, we all know the storyline. The quarterback situation, very tenuous. Russell Wilson's got to play better. Not that he was the reason that they lost entirely in week 1. The offensive line is a disaster right now in front of him. But Russell Wilson's got to play better. Otherwise, the Giants are going to be forced to make a switch and go to their quarterback in waiting, their future, their franchise quarterback to be. That is Jaxson Dart. Everybody knows it's going to be Jaxson Dart's team, and it might be sooner rather than later. I mean, the Cowboys said to be even preparing to see Jaxson Dart in some form on Sunday. So that tells you where the Giants are right now, because if Brian Daboll is in fact on the hot seat, and I don't know that he necessarily is, but if he needs to win now and Russ isn't getting the job done and Jaxson Dart is a guy that can bring in a spark, you might as well go to him sooner rather than later before this season spirals out of control. The big question, though, is are you going to go to Jaxson Dart behind the current state of this offensive line? Because you see that is a quick way, and we've seen it time and again, a quick way to ruin really good quarterbacks and their potential in the NFL. So that's something the Giants have to weigh, because Andrew Thomas is doubtful again for Sunday. And if you don't see him in Dallas, I don't know that you see improvement from the offensive line. Maybe you do. But Jaxson Dart, for what it's worth, and Jameis Winston, too, played it down the middle. They were very diplomatic about things when talking about this on Friday.
I'm confident in myself, so, whatever opportunity happens or, whatever may happen, I'm preparing for that opportunity. And, I feel like I'm gonna go out there and succeed anytime I'm on the field. So that's just kind of the approach that I have. My job is just to be the best teammate for Russ. So, just him coming off on the sideline, us just having talks. It's a long season, so I know that every one of us obviously we're disappointed in the loss and kind of how things shaped out for us week 1. But we're really confident in us being able to battle back this coming week and play at a high level. So my job is just to be there for us and be the best teammate. So that's my approach each and every week.
Jaxson Dart knows his time is coming. He knows he needs to be ready to play at some point this season, maybe as soon as Sunday. For what it's worth, a few lockers down, Jameis Winston, very diplomatic as well. Winston told reporters he thinks he's one of the 32 best quarterbacks in football right now, and he believes he should be a starter. But he also says he knows his role, and his role right now is to support Jaxson Dart and Russell Wilson and get them ready for Sunday. So that's where we're at. It's not all on the quarterbacks. Big red flag is the running game for the Giants. That's got to be better here too going into Dallas, but it all comes back to the offensive line. Is the line going to be better going up against the Cowboys? Because that's how the running game will have any kind of a chance. Tyrone Tracy Jr. talked a little bit this week and kind of, you could sense, took it upon himself for not producing, averaging less than 3 yards a carry against Washington coming out of the gates. And he knows he needs to be better. He talked impassionately in his locker about being better this Sunday for the Giants.
We definitely took it personal, for sure, because that's not up to our standards. Like, no which way, you slice it, it's never up to our standards when you go out there and put on that performance. So we have a certain way of doing things, especially in the run game. Obviously, that's my bread and butter, so I'm going to do better. I'm going to try to help the O-line out and play better. Whatever it may be, my reads, maybe, being patient or hitting the hole faster, whatever it may be. Like, I'm going to try to do better to make sure that their job is easier, because, that's part of the running back, making sure that, their job is easy, make sure that they look good, and then letting them get the praise for it.
So the running game's got to be better. The quarterbacks need to produce. And they tried to force the football into Malik Nabers. That's not necessarily a win. I mean, yes, you got to get Malik Nabers the ball, but I don't know that it's a winning formula. You got to spread it around. And so Nabers targeted 12 times against Washington, ended up with 71 yards receiving, no scores, and a pretty bad look on the sideline where it seems he kind of went at it back and forth with Brian Daboll. And, the towel over his head, everybody knows that image. And Nabers talked about that this week. And everybody seems to have moved on.
I went to look at it a little bit, got frustrated again, turned it off, sick to my stomach. Just overall, not even saying the whole team, just my gameplay. As I'm going to start with mine first because, I believe I'm a key part of this offense. So when I don't play right, it kind of, the energy is not right. But like I said, I got sick to my stomach, turned it off.
You look back at the game, you felt sick to your stomach. How you played?
Yeah, just overall, just how I played. Felt like I left some plays out there. Felt like there was plays to be made that I didn't make that I'm knowing I'm more capable of making.
Nabers just wants to win, obviously. And you don't want to waste Malik Nabers. You don't want to lose Malik Nabers in the potential that he brings in year 2 to put up eye-popping numbers. You got to get Malik Nabers the football, and you got to get him in the end zone and get him going this year, because that is a roadmap to winning football games for the Giants. Also, this defense. You don't want to lose the defense because they look like they're a transformative defensive front potentially this season. So we're going to see another test here with Dak Prescott. He's got 2 electric receivers, Pickens and Lamb, going against the Giants cornerbacks. A lot of pressure on the secondary in this game. And the Giants, to alleviate some of that pressure, need to get after the quarterback here in this game. So that's really what it boils down to. I don't know that this is a win for the Giants. I have my concerns, not just for this game, but for this season in general. I really think the Giants can be competitive this year. I don't know that they're going to win a lot of games. We've talked about that because of their schedule, but I feel like they have the potential to be competitive, but they've got to get something from this offense. If this offense is what it was against Washington, then forget it. This season's a lost cause. Might as well go to Jaxson Dart. So we'll see. That's the big question that looms coming out of this game against the Cowboys in Dallas.